Okay, we will get started as it is 12 o'clock. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our second year of Tech Connect Thursday, powered by WEtech Alliance in partnership with Invest WindsorEssex, FedDev Ontario, Clair College, the University of Windsor, as well as Workforce WindsorEssex. So my name is Sam Branton from WEtech Alliance. I am our Manager of Talent, Programs, and Engagement, and I have the pleasure of overseeing WEtech Alliance's talent, programs, and initiative, including the Tech Connect program portfolio, which you are attending right now. So I could not be more excited to welcome Meri from Lighthouse Labs to the virtual stage today. So first, I'll tell you a little bit about Lighthouse Labs. So Lighthouse Labs is a tech education company that offers 12-week boot camps for web development as well as data science, as well as part-time upskilling courses with locations across Canada. What is our Tech Connect Thursday program? Well, Tech Connect Thursday is an opportunity for those curious about working in tech and or those who are working in tech already to help make connections and learn about exciting career opportunities, industry insights, trends, initiatives happening within our region and beyond. So our goal is for you to meet some of the fastest growing tech and innovation companies, people, and the organizations that are leading the way across the entire tech industry. Ultimately, we hope Tech Connect Thursdays help plug you into the Windsor, Essex, and beyond tech scene. To date, we've hosted 10 sessions featuring 10 businesses and organizations with over 650 professionals and students registered. So just a little bit of housekeeping to be considerate and accommodate everybody joining today from across the region. Thank you to all of our attendees for joining us here on Zoom. You may not be able to see all the attendees, but you will have the opportunity to engage with our guests through the Q&A session. So if you'd like to join the discussion, feel free to use the chat feature located at the bottom of the screen to engage with other session attendees. And if you have a question, you may submit questions at any time throughout the Q&A box located in the bottom display window. You may also upvote questions if you like the question and you would like it to be answered. Should you experience any technical difficulties, please also send a message in the box. Finally, this presentation is being recorded. A video file as well as relevant links we will share as well afterwards through a YouTube video, which will be included in our attendee follow-up email. So now I am pleased to introduce our guest from Lighthouse Labs, Meri. So I'll first tell you a little bit about Meri. So Meri is the Associations and Partnerships Manager at Lighthouse Labs. She has a Bachelor in Arts in Political Science and brings extensive experience spanning diverse industries ranging from energy efficiency and nonprofits to the tech sector. Her career has involved collaborating with various communities, notably in providing support to immigrant communities. She focuses on cultivating strategic partnerships with industry associations and collaborates with employers in Canada as well as the US to address their partnership needs. Specializing in facilitating Lighthouse Labs graduates in navigating their career pathways, which is what we're doing right now, Meri brings extensive experience in program management, delivery, as well as implementation. As a senior manager in the tech industry, her expertise lies in fostering partnerships, promoting service and business growth, and engaging with the community. A dedicated advocate for diversity inclusion initiatives, Meri works towards creating an environment that values, encourages, and supports differences while enhancing organizational capability through effective partnership as well as management. So everybody, feel free to welcome Meri. So we will dive right into the questions, Meri, if that's all right with you.
Of course. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so our first question is a little bit of an introduction and understanding of upskilling. So could you introduce yourself and your organization, as well as explaining what upskilling means to our audience?
Thank you, Sam, for the first question. And before I start, I'm definitely very excited to be here today and to chat about Lighthouse Labs, about upskilling, about our programs, and etc. And definitely ready to respond to any questions you may have. And before I start, everyone can connect with me through LinkedIn, just so I don't forget afterwards, because that's important as this is a networking session. So this is one of the ways that we can start networking. So Sam definitely provided my bio, so I won't go into details about myself. But I've been with Lighthouse Labs for more than 4 years, started as the employer partnerships manager in 2019, pre-pandemic. So definitely saw the transition of amazing, in-person educational institution to a completely online and remote organization that, we survived through pandemic, but definitely are thriving and have quite a few things that we can offer to prospective students as well as to the employers. So right now I'll talk a little bit about Lighthouse Labs. So we launched in 2013. So we celebrated our 10-year anniversary last year. So amazing opportunities there for the organization to grow even more in the next decade. And our goal is finding innovative ways to train the next generation of tech talent. So in this technological age of disruption across every industry, our mission is to give our students the skills they need to find long-lasting careers in the digital workforce. So far, we've delivered hands-on tech education to over 40,000 students, equipping them with relevant tools to excel in their future work. And through this unique approach to education and with the support of brilliant team of our instructors, mentors, career advisors, we continue to empower students across Canada and launch their careers. So a little bit about upskilling with Lighthouse Labs. It's all about leveling up your tech game in the most hands-on and accessible way possible. So imagine a journey when you are not only there to gain new skills, but actually deep dive into the real world tech scenarios. Whether you are getting into the realms of data science, web development, cybersecurity, think of Lighthouse Labs as your guide through an exciting learning journey that will lead you to an amazing career afterwards. So we've got the tools and the expertise and also the community to ensure that you not only survive, but thrive in your new career. So as one of the leading tech educational providers, and we can call ourselves that, our focus includes on web development, data science, data analytics, cybersecurity, and we offer full-time as well as part-time programs and upskilling options for individuals. And definitely our goal is to instill the mindset of continuous learning and adaptability. Yeah, so that was
Perfect. We have that background that will help us and help the attendees understand a little bit what Lighthouse Labs does and if it could be a potential fit for them to maybe enroll in the programming. So next, diving into a little bit of industry trends. So what trends have you been observing in the tech industry, and how do they influence the job market here within Canada, would you say?
Yeah, this is a very, pressing question for everyone across the board and not only in Canada, but as well globally. So the tech job market, and I've done thorough research on this, the tech job market is currently among the most in-demand sectors anyway. So with employers in various IT industries actively seeking tech talent to sustain and improve their business operations. So, you know what, believe it or not, but Canada is recognized for having the world's most educated workforce, producing more tech talent than almost any other country globally. So I would say that at this point, the roles in data science and cloud computing have significantly expanded as the IT industry evolves dynamically. And as we can see, like what's happening on a daily basis with AI and with all the new technologies kind of emerging. And looking ahead to 2024 and beyond, the crucial skills in demand for tech jobs involve strong coding proficiency, focusing mostly on the languages like SQL, Python, and as well as general software development. Also, what I'm seeing is the agile methodology, essentials for rapid product development, is highly, highly in demand, and it's accompanied by a growing need for data-related skills. So ranging from collecting data, analyzing it, visualizing it, to utilization. And critical to the tech job market, cybersecurity expertise in the past few years, and I think going forward, will maintain its significance as it aligns with the continual priority that is placed on information security these days, and the increased awareness and trust considerations of customers. So as the interest in artificial intelligence and machine learning grows as well, they're emerging and even a greater demand for cybersecurity experts. So this is what I am seeing these days.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Next, we'll talk a little bit about the job market as well as potential opportunities. So would you say there are many job openings in the tech sector? I know you had mentioned it's one of the most in demand, but do you believe these opportunities are expected to grow in the future?
I definitely do believe because, as I mentioned, tech sector is growing and it's expanding every day with like so many technological advances emerging. So, and as the companies embrace those advancements in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other technologies, the demand for skilled tech professionals is set to rise. So despite as we all know, the widespread layoffs after pandemic and also this economic uncertainty these days, tech jobs remain among the most in demand ones. So layoffs are common across industries, with the tech sector, despite its volatility, maintaining its impact and significance. And I don't think it's ever going to go away. So for example, according to labor market statistics, web developers and digital designers anticipate a growth of 16% by 2028. So similarly, if we take data engineering roles, the projections are 21% growth, emphasizing on ongoing demand for skilled professionals. So again, a career in technology holds like great potential, covering diverse areas such as software development, data analysis, network administration, and definitely artificial intelligence. And I cannot stress more than enough that the role of cybersecurity analyst is one of the top 20 positions experiencing increased demand in Canada. And that's according to LinkedIn data as of January 2024. So cybersecurity analysts, why is it increasing? Because of the protection, the need of the protection against cyber threats. And as we're seeing, like what's happening around the world these days. And AI and machine learning engineers are also highly in demand for driving innovation as well as automating processes, while data scientists are in demand for their analytical skills, cloud computing, and et cetera, as well as particularly DevOps are also valued for their ability to integrate security in early stages of software development. And again, all of this information you can find in the latest LinkedIn report for 2024, and definitely I will be sharing that resource with Sam, and then you will get it as well.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So what would you say, we do have some students on the call. So what advice would you give to someone who is preparing for a career in tech? And what recommendations to any resources or experts to follow would you recommend?
Yeah, that's a really cool question. I love talking about this because as most of our graduates or the students who come and join Lighthouse Labs are individuals who are pivoting their careers. So basically, I can start with like, some baristas who become web developers, or, pilots who become data scientists, and etc. So this is amazing how you see the transformation and the transferable skills and etc. So for the prospective students, or for the students who are getting into the career, it's very, very important that you open yourself to continuous learning. Because as I mentioned, it's ever evolving. So you have to have that mindset of continuous learning, and also building practical skills are very important. So gaining hands-on experience by working on real projects. And there are lots of resources that I'll be sharing with you in the chat in just a minute. So building your portfolio, showcasing your projects as practical skills are highly valued in tech industry. And I cannot stress more than enough how important networking is. So you're connecting with professionals in tech industry through networking events. And you know what? We have so many that are online, but also in person, online forums, social media platforms, and don't be shy of attending meetups or webinars, because those will definitely broaden your professional circle. This part is my favorite, because mentorship, seek for mentorship. Having a mentor is so valuable because they provide you with guidance and insights, and they try to find experienced individuals in your desired field who are willing to share their knowledge and experiences. And believe it or not, there's so many people who want to give back because they've been in your shoes while they were looking for jobs. So definitely look for mentors. They're out there. And contributing to open source. Definitely staying updated on industry news, and follow any reputable tech news, because there's so many fake ones as well, websites, blogs, and podcasts. And one of the most important things that I wanted to mention, soft skills matter. Just because if you are getting into a new career, make sure that you know what this work on your soft skills, because like Lighthouse Labs or any other educational institution, they cannot teach that. You have to be open to working on your soft skills yourself. And definitely the technical skills matter, but the communication, problem solving, teamwork, and etc. If you are introvert, try to work on your, like working with other people, open it up, because that's so important in every company, and especially when you're working with, other individuals within a team. So if you just give me 1 second, I just want to post some resources. So for, like following influencers in every category, as well as I do have some podcasts that you can follow and listen to. They're awesome again, in every category that I mentioned. So I'm just going to put it in the chat, but at the same time, I think Sam will be sharing that with you as well. So let me just copy this so you can have it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with your comments about the soft skills and their importance as well. I think sometimes if we work in tech, we can sometimes get caught up in our technical skills and how important these are and wanting to showcase them. But if you're going for a job interview or even meeting employer at one of these meetups, you want to ensure that your soft skills are up to par for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I can't paste in the chat.
If you'd like, we can also just share the resource at the end of the session if that's a little easier for you.
Yeah, for sure, because I'm not sure why I can't paste it, but yeah. Okay, I do have those resources, I promise.
Absolutely. We have our wrapped email that we'll send out at the end, so we can ensure that it's included in there.
Awesome.
Perfect. So in terms of upskilling opportunities in the tech sector, what opportunities for upskilling does your organization provide, as well as what skills do you believe are needed to enter the tech sector?
Yeah, so as I mentioned a few times, that the opportunities are there in web development, data science, data analytics, as well as cybersecurity. And the skills needed, include coding proficiency and understanding data structures and algorithms, web development skills, database management, cybersecurity awareness, some cloud computing, But again, the other skills that I want to emphasize are definitely problem solving, as well as continuous learning, project management, and etc. So whether you are someone who is the beginner to make your career change or an experienced professional, Lighthouse Labs provides supportive learning environment. So we are completely remote. So basically, we do have support on every stage of the way, starting from the day you become a student and up until the day that you're hired. And the organization's focus is more on practical hands-on education that ensures the students gain those skills. But I can dive deeper into our programs in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great. That's actually the question I was going to ask you right now, so that's perfect. What programs are offered at Lighthouse Labs, and what are the key skills as well as technologies that are taught within these programs?
Yes, for sure. So definitely, again, our programs give me a second. So they should be, you can choose between 8-week and 12-week bootcamp programs, as well as, flex programs that are going for 6 months. Our programs are basically on web development, and you can become a web developer by learning languages such as JavaScript, Ruby on Rails, and etc., just to name a few. But we do have curricula packages on our website for sure, when you can definitely look at what we teach in web development. So cybersecurity, you will be learning about protecting and then benefiting the knowledge to launch your career in cybersecurity. Again, I will go into some details. Data science, which is combined coding, math, and in-demand data skills, as well as data analytics, so from SQL to Tableau and beyond. That's where you can build your skills. So I can dive deeper. So for web development, when you join Lighthouse Labs and you graduate, you become either front-end, back-end, or full-stack developer. And just to let you know that we are a recognized educational institution, so we do. So after graduation, you do get a diploma that is recognized by employers across Canada. So with web development, the languages are JavaScript, Ruby, HTML, CSS, their other frameworks and libraries, and etc. And after basically you graduate, some of the job titles could be full stack developer, front end, back end developer, software engineer, and etc. But also there are quite a few tech adjacent roles that you can apply for. For data science, it's mostly so you will learn machine learning, you will learn data wrangling, big data, as well as programming includes Python and SQL, which are definitely in demand these days, and also other tools and platforms. The same with data analytics. And for cybersecurity, you will be working on such operating systems and softwares as Windows, Linux, firewall, and etc. Network protocols. You will learn about network protocols, languages and tools, as well as network miner, magnet, RAM, and etc. etc. I won't go deep into those, as you can definitely find them in our curricula that is on our website, but also I can share those links as well with Sam, so you can definitely go straight to that page. So you're not lost, even though our site is user-friendly.
Okay, perfect. All right. So if someone were to be a student at Lighthouse Labs, can you describe a typical day for that student, as well as perhaps comment on how they can balance their coursework with their personal life?
That's a very, very interesting question, just because we're very intensive and immersive bootcamp. So basically, when I talk to prospective students, I usually say that for 3 months, all you do is, you know, everything on your mind is basically boot camp and your studies and the lectures and your coursework. And you will be so immersed in that that you won't have time. So after graduation, you can watch Netflix for a few days before you start your job search. But definitely, I think that it's important that you are ready for, you know, constant work. So the boot camp, let's say if we take web development, so it's for 12 weeks with an estimated commitment of 60 to 70 hours per week.
Oh, wow.
So it's yeah, but definitely we've you know, we don't usually hear complaints about grads being overwhelmed or students being overwhelmed because they're so interested and so engaged and they have so much to do. And again, it's for your future career. So you're expected to be available between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. While we don't have classes on the weekends, even though with flex programs, and I'll talk about those in a second, classes on weekends, you will have work to complete. So the day in life is basically you start with self-study and then you have lectures and then you get your hands dirty, as we call it. So you start coding or working on the projects and the majority of assignments. If you get stuck, we also have mentors on demand. So we do have mentor hours. Again, available Monday to Thursday, and as well as Friday and Saturday. So the same goes towards data science, data analytics, as well as cybersecurity. But we do have a flex option as well, which is more geared towards working professionals. So let's say you have a part-time job, or even if you have a full-time job, those are courses that are basically you have lectures twice a week, and then you do have a lot of homework. Mentor hours are also available to you. It's just the program is longer. It's not 12 weeks, it's 6 months. Again, you graduate, you get your diploma, and for some individuals, it's an option as well. So that's kind of what typically your day looks like. And we do have lectures, we do have career services, workshops, and etc. So I would say juggling personal and you know, your student life during boot camp is sometimes a bit challenging, but you know, it's worth it.
Thank you. That's a very honest look into what it would be like, which I think our students are looking for. So thank you for providing that.
Yeah.
I think you've touched a little bit on this, maybe even in our last question. But can you perhaps discuss some of the career services at Lighthouse Labs, as well as perhaps share if you have some success stories of your graduates?
Yes, of course. And I do love career services, as I am a part of career services in Lighthouse Labs. Career services is definitely one of I wouldn't say one of the most important departments at all the departments, but basically they are there to support you throughout from the time when you are a student up until the day you graduate. So we care. Basically what happens is we do have career service advisors that are assigned to each student, to each graduate. That means that we're working with you on an individual basis. You will have, you know, you will meet with your career service advisors on bi-weekly, as well as you'll work on your resume, you'll work on your, and definitely you can expect like newsletters coming your way, as well as lots of, you know, workshops starting from week 5 while you are in the boot camp, starting with intro to career services. Then we have resume workshops, we have interview workshops, because, you know, resume, most of the students who come, they do have their resume already from their previous, you know, experiences, but we do have some really cool ways on highlighting your skills as you're new to the career. So we do have amazing experts, and our career service advisors are great. We do have you participate in a demo day where you present your skills and etc. And then we do have a workshop, life after Lighthouse, which means that after graduation, what will you be doing, what to expect from career services, and how we work with you to make sure that you are ready for interviews, you're ready for networking, you're ready for your next work job. So, and again, your job starts after you graduate boot camp as well, because it's a full-time job to look for a job, as we all know, but you'll have all the supports. We do have a team of employer relationship managers who constantly are doing some business development, outreaching to employers, matching you with employers based on the employer's hiring needs. And as I mentioned, or maybe I didn't, but we work with more than 4,000 companies across Canada. And every day we get more and more employers interested in hiring our grads. And why do they hire from us? Because it's basically, we're not recruiters. We're just supporting our graduates to find those opportunities. So you are constantly being supervised by your career service advisors to make sure that you have your portfolio, to make sure that you are up to speed, that you are networking, that you are sending your resume. So we won't leave you alone until you find a job. So basically that's what we do. And a lot of definitely interesting office hours where we talk about scams, where we talk about how to network for introverts and etc. So lots of a plethora of subjects and topics that we cover. So career services is an amazing part of your Lighthouse Labs experience.
That's great. It sounds like a very supportive platform. So we'll talk next about sort of admissions as well as expectations. So perhaps you could share a little bit about what the admissions process is like at Lighthouse Labs and what it involves, and maybe what students can expect in terms of commitment and workload. I know you had shared the hours per week and that it was a bit heavier of a workload, but perhaps a little bit on the admissions process.
Yes, definitely. And our admissions team is amazing as well, as they go through, they want to make sure that the students who apply to the programs will be successful. So it's very important to have that, starting point as well. So basically how it starts, you can apply online through our website, and then you will be connected with our learning advisor, and then you're invited for a behavioral interview with them. So basically during that behavioral interview, we talk about your career aspirations, we talk about the field of study that you have chosen, and sometimes, we have individuals who are unsure, do I want to go into data analysis or do I want to go in cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is in demand, but I do love, I do have lots of analytical skills and previous experience. So that's why we have our learning advisors who support you to kind of understand, to make the right decision and the practical decision on which program, unless you already know where you're going. Like I want to be a front-end developer, and because I do have creativity and other skill set, or I have previous experience. Then after the behavioral interview, you will be sent a logic test. So you're given 15 minutes to complete 15 questions. So basically, after you pass the logic test, then you get the tech test, which is program specific. So you get 18 to 22 questions with the study material. So you are given some time to complete that tech test. And based on the results for logic test and tech test, then, our learning advisors will connect with you to let you know whether, you made it or not. And if you haven't made it, we have opportunity for you to try it again in the 6 months. But if you made it, so that's cool. Then we have a finance chat with you. So to understand and to determine how we work on, like what your needs are and et cetera, et cetera. And then after that's settled, congratulations. And then you confirm your attendance for the cohort that you choose. So we do have graduating cohorts every month, and we do have cohorts that start every month. So basically, it depends on, when you want to start, but at the same time on the availability of spaces as well. So once you confirm your attendance, you are being, sent prep material. So before you start, you need to have 50 to 70, you need to work on 50 to 70 hours on prep material. So you are all ready to kickstart on day one. So, and again, once, if you haven't finished your prep work, you may not be able to enroll in that cohort that you wanted. So you need to make sure that that prep work is done prior. And it's a commitment. It's 50 to 70 hours, but all the materials are provided and etc. And then again, documentation, setup and etc. And then day one, that's when you start. So basically, that's the cycle for admissions process. But we do have informational sessions as well, where our admissions specifically talk on all the details on how you can get enrolled.
That's great.
Yeah.
And this is the last question from our sort of pre-planned questions. But what tools and resources does your organization have to offer individuals to achieve their career goals? I know we've talked a little bit about this so far, and as well navigating the job market. Do you have anything else to expand on that one?
Yeah, for sure. So again, basically the course materials are available to you. And if there's some changes in the course, you are definitely being, after you graduate, you kind of get all the notifications. We are there for you on Discord. So before you start your job search, definitely you have career readiness workshops, you have career advice, job boards, tech interview resources, and etc. So, we do have a career readiness calendar where we post our workshops and etc. And you are being invited to that. At the same time, in terms of the resources, you get access to our career search hub. That is a very comprehensive information with, lots of interesting links on, technical assessments, on, interview processes and etc. So every single topic that you're interested in is in Career Search Hub with updated information and etc. As well as we do have technical mock interviews that you can also put in your calendar, and we have our, some of our instructors or some of our mentors are supporting you on that to make sure that you're prepared for the tech interview. We do send out tech newsletters as like on a bi-weekly basis that comes from your advisors with lots of opportunities that are available, or with some information. But one of the most important thing is that our employer relations managers are definitely sending you out to to employers. So basically matching you to the employer needs and based on the job posting as well as your career aspirations and etc. So lots of support, lots of resources, both technical but at the same time on the career services side. So definitely, like, we have the support community for you throughout from day one up until, as I mentioned, you find a job.
That sounds very supportive. So thank you for answering those initial questions, Meri. We will move on to the Q&A portion of the event. Well, Meri will answer our audience questions. So a reminder to post your questions using the Q&A box, and we will do our best to address them. You can also upvote a question if you would like it to be answered. So we had one in the chat here that says, as part of my DevOps journey, we were given a course on emotional quotient in addition to agile methodologies and automation. Are there any resources on emotional quotient available for free?
That's a very interesting question. And I will take that question back. And when I do think that there should be some resources that are free, and I'll share those with Sam, and she can definitely send those resources out. And that's a very interesting question.
Yes. Yes, thank you for sharing that. That question was from Jeff. As well, we do have another question in our Q&A from David Best. So it says, Lighthouse Labs has an accessibility strategy as part of corporate governance. But what about the curriculum content? Does the accreditation ensure that students understand WCAG standards and AODA legislation when developing digital communication platforms? I believe this is related to specifically accessibility. I'm not sure if those standards and legislations are specific to Ontario or if they apply across Canada. But just wondering if you had any insights into if your curriculum content is accessible.
I do believe that it's accessible, and I apologize if I cannot answer that question, but again, I can take it back and come back to you with a more specific response. And as this is a very specific question, so I don't want to give you the information that may not be of relevance or not valuable. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to go through the questions that were submitted as part of the registration process. Some of these questions I believe you have answered already, such as how do you assist in finding employment opportunities? There is one specific question that says, how can I successfully shift into the field of cybersecurity after accumulating years of experience in IT, particularly as system admin and automation specialist?
Yeah, that's a very very good question for sure. So we do have, as I mentioned, we do have individuals who are pivoting their careers, but not even having technical background. So having that technical background in network administration and etc. is definitely a big asset for you to transfer into cybersecurity a role, and definitely that's very valuable for the employers as well, because they do look at your previous experience, and they see that you have a little bit more in-depth understanding of on networks and etc. So there's like I think that it's a very cool transition, having that huge baggage of network administrations and etc. going into cybersecurity. That's like a huge plus, and also a good segue into the cybersecurity.
I would also say it sort of seems like this individual is keeping up with the trends and where the job opportunities are available. So I think that's great as well.
Yeah.
The last question I would say that's applicable from our pre-registered questions is, what would you say, which programming language is currently in highest demand among employers?
So for a junior talent, I would definitely say that the language JavaScript is for sure. So I would say that we're seeing decline in C# or C++, but definitely like Ruby on Rails is still in demand, and HTML and CSS. So those are definitely the languages for the web development that are in demand, and basically specifically for individuals who are just kickstarting their careers for sure, and then afterwards they can dive deep into other languages and frameworks for sure, and definitely libraries. Yeah, so that's what I think right now is and again, specifically this is for individuals who are transitioning and who are just starting. Those are the essentials.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Meri. I'd like to say first off, thank you for your time, as well as thank you to our attendees for coming today. That concludes all of our Q&A. So thank you to everyone for the great questions. If your question was perhaps not answered, we would encourage you to follow up with Meri on LinkedIn, as well as keep your eyes peeled for our wrapped email where we will include those resources that we had chatted about. So a very big thank you to Meri as well as Lighthouse Labs for sharing their insight and advice today. Before we say goodbye, we do have a couple announcements. So WinHacks is in person for the very first time this year and happening on February 16th to 18th on that weekend. You won't want to miss that, so ensure you can register and attend WinHacks. If you'd like, I will be there. Registration is also open for our next Tech Connect Thursday, happening virtually on Thursday, March 7th from 12 to 1 with CompTIA. So we're very excited for that session as well. You can now register. The link is open if you are interested in that. As well, we have a very important survey circulating that will help make the decisions on the future of Windsor's tech ecosystem. So we would love to hear from you. As assuming you're attending this session, you have sort of a technical background. So the link will be shortly shared in the chat. Please just take 5-10 minutes and complete this survey, as this will help shape the future of our ecosystem and will in the end up benefiting you. So we'd love to hear from you. Your feedback is appreciated. Also ensure that you've subscribed to our mailing list to get updates on other upcoming events, as well as a follow-up email as mentioned with the video link and resources discussed in today's session. So this concludes everything for our Tech Connect Thursday. Thank you for attending. We hope that you have learned and enjoyed today's session. And a big thank you for Emily Roback as well to helping with behind the scenes event production today. Until next time, stay plugged into the regional tech scene. Take care.